the feed India of startups. In a way, you're trying to democratize access. Do you see this as more of a business play or an impact play?
I see both. I mean, obviously, it is an impact play. It is meant to be, it's meant for everyone, democratized platform. So anybody in the village also can access it, can reach out to the top investors. And the business wise, as I said, we'll keep the cost low because we want to see a lot of people participate and pay paltry sum of money. Uh, the whole idea is to not burden them a lot. And as I was starting to say with the problem areas, we're going to solve those. For example, a user has to go to everybody's website, fill a form. It's so tiring and all that. We will probably have one form built at the entry level and distribute it to everyone. We can do that way also, so that everybody has be on the same page. Or if not, nothing, just the pitch deck. I mean, and they can ask questions one on one and all that, whatever they want. And then as the sophistication grows, we will advise them through the AI tool that I was talking about. And I think we captured that part of it. And it's going to be based on public data as well as his own data. So his persona and his personalized hyper personalization of his company as well as his profile, his energy, will, skill. And there are a lot of things, as I said, that I would have captured because we already have 40 points where we cover on four areas: marketing, market readiness, his team, and whole team, and then his idea and this thing. So we have all that in Excel ready. So we will put all that, and as I said, all those new things that are coming in will get integrated, and he will have a great uh, insight-based things that will happen to him, which is suggest him new paths, which he would not have even thought of. And that's our belief.
Right. So India is a diverse nation of languages. So how important is language and local context in connecting founders with investors across
Oh,
India?
it's very important. It's very important. I mean, I wish I could launch this in Spanish, German, because Europe is also a very large market, which we miss out. I have a lot of Israelis companies coming to me, Russians coming to me, actually. You won't believe it. And they're very interested in some of them have patents and all that. And they want to just give it to someone. They're old people. And I have no clue how to utilize that. So point I'm trying to make is that, and Japanese, and this is again the language is international language I talked about because I don't want to lose those audience. India, most people understand English, but I'll be happy to have it on Malayalam, Kannada, a lot of the local dialects. Hindi is prevalent, and there's no point in having Hindi and Punjabi. More or less, people will know it. So the Hindi belt, more or less, everybody will be okay with it. So Hindi as a language, English as a language, and then if the local dialects have to be included. There's four of the South Indian languages and Marathi together will form the thing.
Would this be a thought of your AI tool, maybe to translate into a language?
Oh yes, yes.
It can,
Personalization definitely is in my mind.
right.
Um,
Okay.
but then the thing is that once you start to speak, and then again somebody doesn't know, then that's fine. He can use a lot of people actually even in TD Ventures. If you look at the Great Unicorn Show, some of them have presented in Hindi. They were more comfortable in that.
Okay.
We can convert that into English through a language translator, but there's no need. But then the thing is that the people who are outside, so for example, if a German wants to invest, just take an example, then he will have difficulty. So English is a common language, uh, but then so if you are not using English, your target uh, set gets reduced.
Right. Okay.
So so we might use language converter also. I mean, then a lot of things, as you know, it will become very complex. So
Right.
we'll have to see. Uh, we'll have
Okay.
to see there.
Okay. So what's been the most surprising feedback from your early users of your platform?
They're all excited. They have joined in. I haven't seen anybody leaving, by the way. So
Very nice.
that is interesting because the number has remained stable. So that is a good thing. I'm sure they get emails. So if even if they are quiet, I think they're waiting for the next push, which is more engagement, the AI piece of it. And that's why I'm raising money,
Right.
because I'll have to spend a lot to deploy developers, which are beyond my pay grade today, the way we are. And secondly, I will give them 30,000 feet idea, and they have to still think for the lower levels based on their technical capabilities. So I really need, I'm talking of serious guys here, so you can understand how much money it will cost me.
Right. So you're planning for almost 5,000 members and 1,500 investors by December this year. So that's aggressive. How do you get both sides to join at such a scale?
So this 1,500 on the deal room is when it was free, okay? So now it is paid, so I think it will be much less there. Uh, I have to work hard, as I said. It will be more than 5,000, I believe, but yeah, I have to work hard. As I said, I will hit those targets. I have to intensify my digital marketing. It's very difficult to sell something new because there's hundreds of them, as you know. In my own slides, you would have seen that I have put all the people, both online, offline models that exist, and everybody is pandering to the same audience. But I think, as I said, everybody meets, exchange cards, and go off, or they're on WhatsApp. And on the WhatsApp, everybody's putting their own advertisements, and people, yeah, nah, and all that happens. But serious engagement doesn't happen is because you can't. I don't see anything wrong in WhatsApp. I mean, you have the number, you can go and send one message, but it still looks flat.
Hmm.
To me, it can't have a three-dimensional view of it, and that's when the AI part comes into play, and then WhatsApp will look very Stone Age.
Okay. So startups are obsessed with quick exits. How do you convince them that Fund India is just another short-term play? Is not a short-term play.
No, I mean, startups are obsessed about raising funds and then, having investors. Investors are obsessed about exiting at the right time to multiply their money. For me, I think startup will never leave the portal if they receive the fund, because through them, the person who has from whom they have received the money, they will further know many more mentors and all that, and they will continue to. They can talk on WhatsApp and all that. But our business model is very simple, yearly maintenance fee, and then any of the sophisticated tools, based on how much we spend, we'll have a price to take care of that. So they would have paid for us. We would be making the money and paying it, and there is no cost on the staff and all that, because it's a solopreneur right now, and moment it becomes complex, we would recover the cost for the developers and sustenance costs. So
Right.
that's really uh,
Okay. So what's the single most important traction number you want to hit this year?
see, this market is not very large. If I'm talking of India, there are 1.5 1,50,000 startups, and investors will be in hundreds, 200, 300. The rest of them will be deal makers and all that, and everybody tends to be a deal maker and serious players. At least in startup India, there are only 100 or 88 investors registered. So, and the world market is very large, but so I'm targeting the world market. So if you bring all that together, it's still there will be a lot of billion-dollar companies. I want actually all the big guys in our country who have become unicorns and all that. And if you're looking to funding, and they are looking to fund many companies of similar nature to enhance their, because they are hitting a plateau somewhere, 7-year journey or whatever they had, 10-year journey. So they would be looking at M&A, and a big time, I'm a fan of M&A as well. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. So those areas, and if I am getting funding, then I will enable all those as well, many more products. So to me, I don't see stickiness is not an issue, because anyway, it's for 1 year and many more things they will explore. It's very difficult for them to leave it for the next 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And
Okay.
even then, if you launch a new one, they still would have to come to the same place from where they receive success. I mean, so
Right.
these are very sticky things in life. You can't leave them.
Okay. So if you had to explain your business model in just one line each, freemium, deal room, and premium, how would you, in just one line?
So freemium is Fund India by default group. Uh, and then deal room, I have already explained the essence of that. Premium is where we will have AI tools and that's all.
Okay. So tell us a story of one founder who used Fund India and had a wow moment.
Well, there are many actually, but they don't tell me their wow moments. But I know that they had connected people, and they have reached out to some of our. So I mean, there are some people who publish them with email addresses and all that. So they have come back and they said, when I'm coming back to India, I would like to meet you and all that. So we know that they have been happy and they're successful. So it's been just 8 months. So there are at least 3, 4 people I know that have appreciated the effort. There's no
Nice.
doubt in that.
Okay. So if Fund India could predict which startup idea will raise 10 crore tomorrow, what category would it be in, according to your predictions?
Yeah. So we will hate to predict certain things because really speaking, it's as I said, it's a black box.
Oh,
Nobody knows how which way it goes because even if I took it is possible to predict. I mean, it's not impossible, as I would say. So if you take the energy level of a guy, the education level of a guy, his pedigree, his sector, if he's in the top 5 sector, and then IIT, IIMs, as I said, educational levels, and then energy, storytelling, if you can capture his voice and fluency and the way he explains, his storytelling is so important at the beginning. And then, his team, founder is great. What about the co-founder? This guy is not technology. This guy is technology oriented. Other guys would be finance oriented and all that. So if we can capture all these moods of that, it is possible to predict a unicorn. But again, million things can go wrong. So
mm-mm.
I would not stick my head into this right now because my focus is not to predict anything. And and then the investors come in big numbers and they all lose money. That will be very sad. I think it will be an exploratory journey, a discovery journey for each one of us. So it is for a person's comfort level to give his money. Can't be pushing anyone. That's the nature of the beast. So I think what we want to do is to display and do our best to make an impact, as he was saying, the impact in investment side of things or the business side of things. The question will be impact. And then this guy has to make up his mind and put the money. As simple as that. So
Okay.
it's the other way around.
So what's the funniest pitch you ever come across uh, in your platform?
Some in Hindi was there, and he was for a marriage. He was driving his in tier two city because there is no bus service, so people can't go to attend marriages. So he was running that and profitably, but there was no TAM. It can't be pan India, although it can be. I mean, I'm beginning to think it could be possible in all the villages. Commutation itself is a commuting is a big issue. Here you have Ola and all those things, but in the villages he was doing that, and he spoke the whole time in Hindi, so
Right.
we could understand it, but I don't think, and he was very rough, like a typical villager.
Okay.
So I would call that as the funniest moment, probably that would be it.
Okay.
But there are no funny moments here because uh, most founders are under deep stress to find money. So they are very mean and this thing.
Okay. Okay. So if Fund India itself was pitching to an investor for 60 seconds, what would the pitch sound like?
Oh, I mean, put me on the spot. I'm not good at that. But yeah, I mean, we are creating a democratic platform which is doing a very simple job of connecting startups with investors without any baggage. You can just send a message practically on this platform to all the investors that are there, and you can express yourself as beautifully as possible by writing a note, investment note. with your pitch deck attached at the first instance itself, and you can get as many people to like you if you have a great idea. So that's the essence of this. It dissolves all boundaries, uh, and nobody is higher. Everybody is a member. We don't. There is no privilege between a startup and an investor. So that's what is this platform. Great equalizer for everyone.
Very nice.
That's what I think I'm building.
So, founder to founder, both Excelera and Fund India are solving inefficiencies, workforce versus fundraising. What's the one principle both industries share? So my the company which I we specialize in workforce solutions. We provide IT solutions and IT services. I
Uh,
feel IT is embedded across most of the most of the companies which require funding. So that is one thing I feel technology is plays a major area. Other than what other things do you think which is common over here?
See, technology is a differentiator always. Technology is always, any technology or a disruption will cause another gap to be formed, and therefore that will be further filled. So technology will always play a part with artificial automation, artificial intelligence and automation, and zero touch human intervention. That is what we call zero touch automation coming in. It's becoming very, very complex and situational, and the way things are going to happen. So to me, intelligence is going to be a serious matter tomorrow. It's not about technology anymore. Intelligence inside the tool is going to determine your effectiveness. So to me, that is a game changer. And as you rightly said, so technology, intelligence, and people will always be there to be as a third pillar. I would always think people are very important for the company, the integrity, all those integrity, loyalty, and the basic ethics of a man, which makes a company great, will remain there as a differentiator for every company. No matter how what you build and all that, if you're not ethical in your approach, if you don't want to, if you don't equalize everyone, and that's what this platform is doing, democratizing it. It's of no use actually.
Right. So, what personal lessons about resilience do you think every founder needs when navigating scale?
Yeah, so I was actually listening to again. I will bring that. I was recently listening to forget the name now, the great investor himself, and probably Warren Buffett also has said this various times. Is that is that there is a there is a great there is a great meaning to what we do in our lives, and I think to me, your goal is one thing, and people actually want to. The problem with this mad race of startups is that they want to create something to make money, and he tells. I think, as I said, they all tell you that first you start to build something that will make this place, this place, Earth a better place, or whatever you're doing, it improves humanity in some way, and fulfill that. Money is a byproduct that will come, but the approach today is different. They're all in a rush,
Mm-mm.
so they want to. They have an idea, and that is why they fail. Also, while they can't reflect on themselves, they start blaming the world, and all that other things are secondary. But I think what you should build is to change something, and that is what is my aim. I haven't made a penny out of it because it's been just eight months, and even TD Ventures, it suffered from people issues, people leaving, and that is the reason for this highly automated thing that I'm building, is that the fact that we can't have somebody leaving and it leaves a deep impact of organization becomes slow and all that. So all that I'm solving for the betterment of these people so that they don't have to fill multiple forms. I am assuming here that all the investors are here. That is another challenge that I will have once the startups are here. So I want both sides also to come in. Nobody should feel big or small here. They want to make an impact. The question today is why your platform? I can do the same thing on LinkedIn. When LinkedIn is actually meant to create jobs, or so I don't want to bring jobs and other things specifically meant for this very sophisticated, highly skilled, great return area. where there are million things that can go wrong. And although, as I said, the numbers look small, but this is a very sophisticated place, startups. And next 15 years, 20 years is India's journey to address that. Plus world's journey also. People are innovating everywhere.
Right. So you did mention this is a $3 trillion opportunity. What slice of that do you really want to own?
Yeah, I mean, in the management of funds, it could be that much. I want to do 300 million at least
300 million. Okay.
in the next 4 or 5 years.
Okay. So global
So
launch.
300 million in terms of management of funds or whatever, and on market cap, maybe 3 billion.
Okay. 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 Nice. So global launch in 2027. Does that sound bold? Why go global so soon instead of first dominating Indian market?
No, I mean, global launch is even today. I mean, nothing stops anybody to come in. I think that I want to build all the bells and whistles of AI, and I really want. I think I will be ready by 2027. It's not a global launch. It will be like full launch with all the functionality. Today we are at 20% of what we want to do. The AI part is the most sophisticated part, which gives me sleepless nights. I have a lot of thoughts at, as I said, 70,000 feet, but how people will articulate, because a person can come and either create that or make my more life difficult. So that's where the battle is. Because if you look at all this grok, it's all one man's brainchild. I mean, there is a 70,000 level. So ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Grok, and Gemini, all these have underlying is all LLMs, but they're still a little different, right? How they work.
Right. So by October this year, you're planning to get feedback loops with investors. What's one feature you expect will change completely after that?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think anything would change by October, honestly, because I'm more focused on bringing more people. But then you're right. Unless I create value, how will I get people? I'm really working hard to find fun for myself while I find fun, find fun for other people. If somebody joins in and we are able to assemble a team, and those low hanging AI ideas I have, those get implemented by October, and which will be really fast. I don't think it's going to happen. By December, I feel that if the funding comes, then by December, we'll have some exciting news, great things, Christmas gift for people.
Okay. So how big can Fund India really get? Are you aiming unicorn status or something else?
Yeah, yeah, unicorn, definitely.
Unicorn. So quick fire questions. Angel investor or VC, bootstrapped or funded, growth hack or long-term play?
I still want to help early stage people because they need most assistant. And is there any question again on this?
No, no, no. No. So if you complete the line, Fund India is not just a funding platform, it's
Oh, it's a yeah, I mean, it's just not a funding platform. It's a little bit of fun as well. You can post your things. You're allowed to be funny also, but don't make it so much that it kind of moves the focus. And that's the reason, I still believe that uh, funding world is unlearning itself as well while we are learning the new things. Fund was very earlier. It was very sophisticated. It was a solicitation business only. There's a relationship business. Nobody will trust you. But I think that are changing now. Now you will have an unknown man from a tier two coming in, and you have to trust him with his idea, so on and so forth. So future is going to change. The next 20 years down the time, it's going to be technology, people, everything that I talked about. So my feeling is that in one line, it's revolutionizing the whole concept of how you are taking it to the next level with technology and people. So while Fund India's today's definition is to connect startups with investors and whatever that I say today, but I think the future is very different.
right. So what's the one message you would give to a founder listening to this Techno Talks podcast right now?
I think all the founders should focus on technology, focus on innovation, focus on growth, be very ethical in their working. If they have all the great things of life, great education, great knowledge, but they have to be ethical in the business. They should have highest of integrity while working, and they should spread that within their organization. Then only they will be successful. And therefore, that is a simple message for everyone.
Right. I would like to thank you, Sanjeev Sinha, for coming on our podcast. It's definitely a huge learning curve for me as well. But it also reflects my journey on a lot of things what you spoke about, and there's a lot of key takeaways to take from this. So thank you, and definitely let's see if we can work towards another podcast as well in the future.
That is absolutely true. Every founder's journey is more or less same from the pain and the things that you go through. But in the end, it's pretty satisfying where you reach. Even if you didn't make money, it's it's quite satisfying to see that you came out of somewhere and you're still giving back to. I mean, I have a long career of 25 years plus another 5 years of this. I still think that there's a lot that I can give back, and I'm still trying to do that. So it was great talking to you. You had some of the good questions, very nicely done. I mean, I have to say that. And questions little bit did stump me because you were, I mean, for your maturity, you look young for your age, by the way. I have to say that. And the questions that you put me were quite interesting. And I have to say that I thoroughly enjoyed the discussion. And
Thank
we'll be happy to come back again for another set of discussion in this area.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Sanjeev. Let's connect soon. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
All right. You have a great night ahead of you.
Thank you.
Bye.